We will tear your souls apart.
Hello everyone, I'm joined by my friend Christian for a movie review. Say hi, Christian.
Hello everyone.
And today's we're going to be talking about 1999's The Found Footage Blair Witch Project. What do you think of the Blair Witch Project?
I absolutely love the Blair Witch Project. I think it is, to this day, still one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely. Actually, back in 1999 when this movie came out, it was the marketing, the hype, but I was 5 going on 6 at the time, but I literally went 12 years of my life not knowing anything about this movie, despite my dad took my older sister to go see this in the movie theaters when it came out, but I guess somehow I avoided that conversation about how scary it was.
Okay, yeah, no, I remember hearing about it when this came out. Like, I was about, I think I was 7 when this came out, and
right.
Yeah, I remember, people talking about it. I remember even, teachers were talking about the movie. I remember there was one teacher in particular who was talking about, I can't believe she actually thought the movie was real. She was talking about somebody that she knows who thought the movie was real, so it's a movie I've known about for years and years. I didn't actually see the movie until I was about maybe 19 or 20.
I was 20 when I first saw it because I was curious to see what was all the hype about it, and everyone's first view when they see it, they may think it's real, but then they turn to Google it was only fake for just marketing promotion.
Well, I knew it wasn't real when I saw it.
Right.
When I saw it, but I remember hearing a lot of bad things about it. So many people were telling me, "Oh, it's a stupid movie," and then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, what are people talking about? This is legitimately a scary freaking movie.
Right. I was scared when I first saw it. It shocked me, and I was amazed what they were able to accomplish shooting on just a simple digital camera for a low budget movie. It was one of the highest grossing indie films because prior to that Halloween.
Was it a digital camera though? I think it was more like no, it wasn't a camcorder, but I don't think it was a digital.
Okay, maybe right. I'm sorry, my bad.
I get what you meant though.
Yeah. I was just amazed how they were able to accomplish making this film. I never would have imagined who knew you could just make a movie with just a simple camera and not being the big shot of Hollywood.
Yeah. And this really did popularize the found footage genre.
Did.
This was not the first found footage movie. Before this, there was a movie called The McPherson Tape. And then before that, you had Cannibal Holocaust.
I've actually never seen Cannibal Holocaust, but I know about it, though, and how it's really a gruesome movie.
Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust, only the second half is actually found footage, but if you watch that movie, you could definitely see the blueprints for the Blair Witch Project.
Gotcha. I gotta check it out at some point, despite how very graphic it is. But yeah, I totally agree. This definitely not the first found footage, but this is what set the stage of making the subgenre popular. Because
if it wasn't for this, you wouldn't have Cloverfield, you wouldn't have Paranormal Activity.
True. Because that was the first found footage film I saw before I knew about Blair Witch Project.
Which one, Paranormal Activity or Cloverfield?
Paranormal Activity. Okay. That was the first found footage I saw before I knew anything about Blair Witch or what found footage meant at that time.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about some of the creepiest scenes?
Oh yeah, no, we have to. First it starts out how these they were college students, right?
Yeah, they were film students.
They were film students making a simple documentary, but everything goes wrong. They get lost in the woods, and there's all this noise at night, but they don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, one of the scenes that really creeped me out was when they're in the tent, and then you hear children laughing outside, and there's banging on the tent. I mean, first of all, if you're out in the middle of the woods, and that happens, I don't know about you, but I would be defecating in my pants, and then I would be running, which
so
they
would
do.
I.
They run the fuck out of there.
Oh, yeah.
So many people, said, oh, it's dumb, you don't even see the witch, and it's that's the fucking point. The movie would not be as effective if we actually saw what it looked like.
That's true, because it's fun. I felt that way, but not in a negative way, but as I got as when you're younger, you want more. As you get older, you respect things and appreciate things more. As I rewatch, as I appreciate, we don't see the witch, we don't see what's happening. That's what makes it horrifying.
Yeah, that scene where Heather's running through the woods and says, "Oh my God, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" that.
Right.
Like, not what we could make up in our heads is far more terrifying than what they could have actually shown us.
I know McFarlane Toy did do like a Blair Witch toy, like what supposedly could have looked like they had the budget.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's like, I appreciate that we don't see the witch or like what's going on. Like you said, that's what makes it more scary and horrifying.
What also works about not seeing the witch is we can make our own interpretations in terms of what they're actually encountering in the woods.
Right.
Is it actually the ghost of this witch? Or are they just being fucked with by the locals?
That's a good point.
You know, like, even like the scene where like the kids are like outside their tent, like, is that really ghost children?
Right.
Or is that like just the children of these maniacs?
Right.
Like maybe it's a family of maniacs that are harassing them in the woods. Like, we don't know. We don't know what's actually going on.
Right.
That's part of the movie's power, I think.
When we see like Josh disappear, and the way I imply he died, it's like they found his tongue. I'm like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
My theory, I mean, not that I'm not probably not the first person to say this, but my theory was maybe he maybe went to go take a piss out and was kidnapped. But I mean, not that that's like, you know, just the way I interpreted how it would happen to him, like possibly. But that's just my opinion. Not that you have to agree with me on that. Yeah, well, what do you think of the characters in this film?
I like the characters because they feel very believable.
They do.
And that's another thing, like, I heard so many people saying, oh, the acting's terrible. It's like, no, this is like...
reality about how
first of all, it doesn't feel like acting. It feels like these are real people out in the woods.
Right.
Like this, like... You know, even though I knew it was fake, and frankly, I think even if you had half a brain, you should have known it was fake.
Well, I guess I didn't.
But it's done so authentically. Like, it really does look and feel like this could have been, like, just footage that somebody found out in the woods.
Right. Because when I first saw it, I thought it was this, like, really recording footage of, like, the last moment of their lives. But like you said, it was obviously a hoax, and in real life, no one's gonna like direct you how to like react in a situation when you're lost in the woods and you're being like stalked or whatever the hell is after you. It's called having a reaction when in that moment, like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. And you know, you feel bad how like, you know, they're lost in the middle of nowhere. And the part when Mike admitted that he kicked the map away, I'm like, oh god, he's in deep shit because Josh like starts punching him, and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's in deep shit. Yeah. But I like these characters. Granted, back and forth, they're kind of all jerks in between, but at the same time, there's like moments of like, they're jerks to each other, but then they're like, you know, like, oh, having like, enjoying the little small moments of like, making fun of each other, but in a friendly way kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're dicks to each other.
Right.
But at that point, who wouldn't be in that situation,
right.
You know?
Especially like when Josh is being a dick to Heather, like, I want to make some movies, and he goes... And he's like, that's your motivation right there. And sorry I'm not remembering the line, but the point is, though, Josh was being a dick to Heather because they were lost in the middle of nowhere, and she said, it's all I got left. Yeah, because, like, who knows, like, maybe if something happened to them, they at least found the footage that was left over of, like, what could have happened to them. And do you want to talk about the ending, too?
Oh, yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh, it is. I remember like jumping up like, holy shit, what the hell did I just see? Yeah, it like had that like shock spook value to it. Yeah, this is just an amazing film. One of the best horror film in the 90s, and I think it's a great horror film period, and amazing what they were able to accomplish with just making like a simple, small, and effective horror film. No gore, just very scary and effective with like the darkness and what we don't see.
Yeah, we should also probably talk about Heather Donahue's performance.
Right.
That scene where like she's talking to the camera saying, you know, basically saying, yeah, I know this is my fault. Right. I fucked up.
Right.
And like basically she knows they're probably not going to make it out there, and she says, I love you, Mom, I love you, Dad. That's legitimately a heartbreaking
It is. You feel... I mean, yeah, despite she was a bitch at times, but you felt bad for her at that moment. Like, yeah, we kind of feel bad that she's kind of going to die at some point in this movie. Yeah, but obviously that's on the movie poster, so if you haven't seen this film, you might recognize this shot when you watch the movie. And I think it's ironic how, like, Heather Donahue went from this movie to selling medicinal marijuana for a living.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was in some other things.
Yeah, true.
She was in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think.
I've heard of that, but I've never seen the show. I know what you're talking about. I read that, and she did do another film. I remember she did with Freddie Prinze Jr., but I don't remember what the name of it was. But I do remember she was in a Freddie Prinze Jr. film. It was like some kind of like coming of age film, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. She really didn't have much of an acting career much after that point.
I hate to say it, I think Blair Witch Project was part of the reason for that, because even though this was a huge movie, it was a huge movie, but there was also a huge backlash against the movie, and I think, I think like the three actors in this movie, they ran across like either getting typecast or sort of like somebody was like, oh, we don't want to hire the Blair Witch people, you know.
I know Joshua's been like a couple of things here and there, but nothing like famous or big. But Mike, I'm not so sure about what he's done since Blair Witch, because I know Joshua was in. Did you ever see the movie Unsane by Steven Soderbergh?
I'm familiar with it.
He was in that film. He played like this guy who was met and stayed about a woman who he was in love with, but the woman didn't love him back, that kind of thing.
He was also in the remake of Prom Night.
I saw that I don't remember his character in that movie.
He was a bellhop at a hotel.
That explains. I guess that was just a small part where he's just there and that's it. There's nothing else. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that a long time ago. I don't remember he was in that movie, but anyway, and yeah.
But I will say also, like, something I also really like about the movie is the mythology. Like, even though we don't know for sure if they're truly encountering this witch, but the whole backstory of the witch, like the fact that the guys who made this movie just made that all up, and like this movie has a really complex mythology for a low-budget movie like this. Like a lot of thought went into this.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like the kind of film you could analyze and make your own like interpretation of mythology and what is like the Blair Witch Project, and it's was it really a witch, or was it all just like an urban legend type of story kind of way?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the sequels to this?
Yeah. I saw both of them.
Okay, because I saw the second one a long time ago. I don't remember anything about it, because when this movie came out, they made a sequel, but it was like unrelated to this movie.
It was like related in the sense that it was kind of like New Nightmare in a way, where like the Blair Witch Project was a movie in the sequels universe. It was very meta, like it was a meta fiction movie. I actually don't mind Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. It could have been better, but there's a review of it from a guy named Good Bad Flicks on YouTube.
I've heard of it. I've watched it before in the past.
He goes over how that film suffered from a lot of studio interference, and like I still like the movie we got, but the movie I think is a little bit smarter than people realized. And then the third Blair Witch movie, called Blair Witch, that one was a direct sequel to this.
That one I liked a little bit more than the second one, because it's like, okay, it's about the siblings trying to find them. It's like, that actually should have been the second movie, where it's about like some family relatives trying to find their sibling after was it 20 years or 10 years later or something?
It was like 20 years.
Okay, 20 years later. See, maybe they still could have been alive, but I don't know. At this point, they're dead at this point, and this like they wanted to make more like sequel to this, but who the hell knows? Yeah. Like I said, the third Blair Witch. Okay, second one, I don't remember that well. I saw it a long time ago, and it was not what I expected. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch upon with the Blair Witch Project?
No, I think
there is one thing I do want to say though. If it wasn't this film, we would not have internet like marketing for movies or shows these days.
Oh yeah. This definitely kicked off a lot of that, especially because when this came out, not everybody was online like they are now.
No.
Like this, forgot where I was going with that, but like you said, you hit the nail on the head. Like it was. This was like really what started a lot of that viral marketing.
Right. Well, nowadays we have like people like going on Instagram or Facebook to see what's going on with the behind the scenes of my favorite TV show or movie that's coming out soon, a part of this franchise, rather than being surprised. But that's a different story. So yeah, Blair Witch Project, highly recommended. One of the best movies ever made, one of the best horror films ever made, one of my all-time favorite horror films of all time. Yeah. So I guess that's everything. Signing out. Say bye-bye.